Welcome to Relationship Exposed. In today's video, they say your 30s are when life truly begins, when you think you've figured out who you are and where you're headed, only to find out that the biggest lessons and the darkest betrayals are still waiting just around the corner. I should have known mine would start with a lie. The first warning sign wasn't the hushed phone calls that slipped out of Daniel's lips like secrets meant to be kept in shadows. It wasn't the way his hands lingered just a little too long on my waist that morning, too heavy, too familiar, in a way that didn't feel right. No, not even the blindfold. I had trusted him enough to believe in surprises, in the magic of those little moments. But the real warning, the one that should have screamed at me, was the champagne. Too sweet, too fizzy, too wrong. I drank it anyway, because that's what good wives do. They swallow their doubts, their fears, their instincts, and smile. By the time they pinned me to the dining room table, my limbs felt like wet sand, heavy, and unable to move. It was then, in that suffocating moment, that I realized this wasn't a birthday surprise. It was a transaction, and I was the gift. The silence was the first thing I noticed. Daniel had been acting strange all week. Whispered phone calls that stopped when I entered the room, texts that disappeared from his screen before I could even read them, a tightness in his smile that never reached his eyes. But on my 30th birthday, he was different, too eager. "Just wait until tonight, baby," he murmured against my neck that morning, his hands sliding under my nightgown, sending shivers down my spine. "I have a surprise you'll never forget." Now, standing in our dimly lit living room, I gripped my winter glass too tight, the crystal biting into my palm as the house seemed unnaturally warm. The air was thick with Daniel's cologne and something else, something sharp, like anticipation, or something darker. "Relax," Daniel said, grinning, as his friends, Mark, Jason, and Ryan, raised their glasses in a toast. "It's your night." I forced a smile. I barely knew these men. Daniel's gym buddies, his poker night crew. They'd always been polite, but tonight their eyes lingered too long, their laughter sounded too loud. Mark, the tallest, leaned against the fireplace, his gaze dragging down my body. "Happy birthday, gorgeous," he said, his voice slick. Daniel didn't react. He just sipped his whiskey like nothing was wrong. Then the lights went out. "What?" I gasped. Hands grabbed my wrists, not roughly, but firm, too firm. "Trust me." Daniel's voice came from behind me, warm breath tickling my ear. A blindfold was tightened over my eyes. My pulse spiked. "It's part of the surprise," he said, laughing. The kind of laugh that used to melt me, now sending chills down my spine. Someone, Mark, took my wine glass. Fingers traced my bare arm. "You're going to love this." Jason's voice slurred from somewhere to my left. Hands guided me backward until my thighs hit the edge of the dining table. The wood dug into my skin. "Daniel?" I tried again, laughing nervously. "What's happening?" No answer. Then a grip on my knees, spreading them apart. I jerked. "Hey." Daniel's voice was low and amused. "Just let go, baby." A warm palm slid up my thigh, pushing my dress higher. My breath came faster. This wasn't the Daniel I knew. This wasn't laughter. Rough fingers hooked into the waistband of my panties. "Wait," I choked out. But the word dissolved into a gasp as a mouth, not Daniel's, closed over my breast. The blindfold slipped. For one fractured second, I saw him, Daniel, standing in the corner, watching and smiling. I woke up naked. The sheets were twisted around my legs. My body ached in places it shouldn't have. My head pounded from too much wine, too little memory. It had to be a dream. I reached for Daniel, but his side of the bed was cold. A sharp pain shot through my thigh as I stood in front of the bathroom mirror. Purple fingerprints bloomed across my hips. My lips were swollen. Not a dream. The smell of bacon and coffee hit me before I reached the kitchen. Daniel stood at the stove, humming, flipping pancakes like it was any other Sunday. "Morning, birthday girl," he said, grinning over his shoulder. "Sleep well?" My stomach twisted. "What happened last night?" My voice sounded raw. Daniel's smile didn't falter. "You don't remember?" He chuckled, pouring syrup. You were wild, babe. Couldn't keep your hands off me. A flash of memory, hands pinning my wrists, hot breath on my neck, laughter echoing. Your friends, he corrected, sliding a plate toward me. Our friends. And don't worry, they left right after. You were pretty out of it. I stared at the pancakes. The syrup looked too much like blood. Daniel, I forced myself to meet his eyes. Did you let them touch me? His fork clinked against the plate. Jesus, is that what you think? He sighed, running a hand through his hair. Babe, you begged for it. You were moaning Mark's name by the end. My face burned. No, I wouldn't. But then why couldn't I remember saying no? My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You were amazing. Let's keep it our secret. I dropped the phone. Daniel snatched it up before I could. His expression shifted too fast, from curiosity to amusement. Ooh, he teased, wagging the phone. Someone's got a secret admirer. You know who that is, I whispered. Mark, he said, probably. He shrugged. Dude always had a thing for you, like it was normal, like this was okay. I stood so fast, the chair screeched. I'm going for a walk. Daniel caught my wrist. You're overreacting. His thumb stroked my pulse point. We had fun. You and I had fun. Don't ruin it. The park was empty. I paced under an oak tree, replaying last night in fragments. The blindfold, the hands, Daniel's smile in the dark. My fingers trembled as I dialed my sister. Hey, birthday girl, Lila answered. How was the... Did Daniel say anything to you about last night? A pause. No, just that he had a big surprise planned. Why? My throat closed. Nothing, just a weird hangover. I hung up before she could ask more. Daniel's office smelled like leather and lies. He had left for the gym. Got to work off those pancakes, babe, he'd said, giving me time to search. His laptop was password protected. I typed in our anniversary, denied. Our dog's name, denied. Then, on a whim, birthday girl. The screen unlocked. A folder sat in the center of the desktop labeled birthday plan. I clicked it. Videos. Dozens. All dated last night. The thumbnail of the first showed our living room, me, blindfolded, legs spread. I gagged, slamming the laptop shut. Then I heard the garage door open. Daniel was home. The garage door groaned like a warning. I slammed the laptop shut. My pulse hammered in my throat. Daniel's keys jingled at the front door. Think fast. I yanked the USB drive from his desk and stabbed it into the laptop. Dragged the entire folder onto it. The progress bar crawled. 43%, 57%. The front door clicked open. Babe, you home? Daniel's voice echoed down the hall. 71%. Footsteps closer. I ducked under the desk just as the office door swung open. Daniel's sneakers stopped inches from my face. 100%. Transfer complete. I yanked the drive free and shoved it into my bra. Daniel's phone rang. He stepped back, answering. Yeah, she's here. No, she doesn't remember. Relax. I handled it. A pause. Then a low laugh. You're ruthless. You know that. The door shut behind him. I exhaled. Who was he talking to? The coffee shop Wi-Fi was slow as hell. I hunched over my laptop in the back corner, earbuds in, the stolen USB drive burning a hole in my pocket. The first video loaded. Our living room, me and the black dress Daniel bought me, laughing, clueless. Then the blindfold. The camera zoomed in as Mark pinned my wrists, his mouth on my neck. The audio caught my shaky breath before Daniel's voice cut in, smooth as poison. She loves it. Just keep going. I gagged, slapping a hand over my mouth. The next clip was worse, a close-up of my face. Tears, streaked mascara, moaning. Was that real? Had they drugged me? Then, in the background, a voice I didn't recognize, female. She's perfect, just like you promised. The camera panned to the corner. A brunette in a red dress, smirking, watching, directing. Her name was Lana. A reverse image search pulled up her LinkedIn. Lana Rhodes, sales executive at Velix Corp, former co-worker of Daniel's, and, according to his archived Facebook messages, his ex. I scrolled through their old exchanges. Daniel, 2 years ago. It's over. I'm marrying her. Lana, you'll regret this. Then, 3 weeks ago, after radio silence for years, a new message. Lana, I have a birthday present for your wife. Let's talk. Daniel's reply, I'm listening. The hotel lobby smelled like expensive perfume. I'd followed Lana here after work, my hoodie pulled low. I lurked behind a potted fern, watching her sip martinis with Mark, not Daniel. They were laughing, his hand on her thigh. Then Mark passed her an envelope. Cash. My phone buzzed. Daniel, where are you? Dinner's getting cold. I ignored it, creeping closer. Lana's voice carried. Phase 2 starts tomorrow. She'll never see it coming. Then Mark spotted me. Lana turned, her red lips curling. Well, she purred. You still don't get it, do you? I bolted. My phone buzzed again in the Uber. Daniel, come home. We need to talk. Below it, a new text from unknown. Run all you want. You're already part of the game. The house was too quiet when I returned. Daniel sat at the kitchen table, a half-empty bottle of bourbon between us. His phone lay face up, displaying a single word. Lana. Sit down, he said. Not a request.